When the lockdown started, you said you were going to be better. You said you were going to learn a trade. You said you were going to learn a new skill. You said you were going to be more informed. It's 2 months into the lockdown. Can you boast of all these things? Can you write in a piece of paper every single thing you said you were going to do at the beginning of this lockdown? Can you say that you have accomplished them and you have learned and you have been better? If you cannot say that, then this video is for you. So sit back, relax, and learn. Missing someone. Hi guys, my name is Dami Aramo. If you're new to my channel, thank you. Please make sure you subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. So I will be sharing 10 tips on how you can be better during this lockdown. So let's get right into the video. Number one tip is to have a positive mindset. This lockdown is caused by a pandemic, meaning that there's so much negative energy everywhere. There's the fact that you might contract coronavirus, God forbid. There's the fact that you're at home, you feel like you are less effective because you normally go out, you normally, have a daily routine that gives you a sense of fulfillment. But now you're just at home, you can't really do anything. You work at home for some people. So, everything is just basically. And you have to give yourself a positive mindset. You have to say that I can get better in all areas during this lockdown. I'm not going to allow everything that is happening affect me. So that's your number one tip, a positive mindset. That is what is really going to get you better during this lockdown. The second tip, rejoice during the lockdown. I'm a Christian, so I will tell you that the joy of the Lord is your strength. The truth is there's so much negativity around, and it's really going to be hard to be able to spread positivity and love and light if you are gloomy, if you are sad, if you are fearful. So rejoicing is actually going to, bring you to that conscious state where you are happy. I said we should have a positive mindset. But then rejoicing is really putting action into the positive mindset. And when you rejoice, you are joyful, you are happy, you will be able to spread love and light, and you will also be able to, make those decisions that are going to affect you positively during the lockdown. My third tip, praise God during the lockdown. So I know that I sound a little too spiritual, but the truth is there's so many uncertainties right now. There's pandemic going on, schools have closed down, they probably even fired you from your workplace. So, you don't know what is going to happen next. Like, can it get better? Will it get worse? We really don't know. So the logical thing is to talk to someone who is certain, someone who knows the end from the beginning, and that's God. This is the best time to praise God. This is the best time to get closer to Him. This is the best time to, build a better relationship with God. So if you have a very bad relationship, I suggest that you start making things right now, because He's the one that is going to help you make those changes that will make you better during this lockdown. My fourth tip, pray during the lockdown. When you started 2020, you were planning. You said, you wrote down things you were going to do. You had some, things you were planning to achieve. You had how your 2020 was going to be. But how has that worked out for you so far? I mean, it just shows that we planning some certain things do not exactly mean that those things are going to happen according to our plans. And as human beings, we need direction in this life. So who can give you direction better than God? After planning, you pray. You pray so that, He will tell you like, okay, girl, these plans that you made, it's not now. And He can also tell you, He can also give you direction like, okay, instead of doing this, why don't you do this? Is actually very important during this lockdown. Pray. Pray about a lot of things. Pray about, businesses that you can get during this lockdown, business ideas. Pray about skills that you want to learn. You might be saying that, okay, I feel like I want to go into, maybe makeup. Like now, makeup is like a very trendy thing. Everybody's doing makeup. Most people like, I cannot do makeup, so like you know, if you do makeup, like you're very high importance to me. So it's like, you know, let me go into makeup. But then when you pray, God is like, no, no, that's not where I want you to be. I want you to learn maybe graphic design or editing. Like, go into this is where you're going to get more money from. This is where, you know, direction. Praying during this lockdown is going to give you a bigger sense of direction than you can ever imagine. So yes, pray. Number 5, study during this lockdown. Repeat after me. Study during the lockdown. A lot of us have, you know, successfully spent so much money on data, binge watching our favorite series, you know, staying on Twitter, staying on Instagram, just living life. Now, there is nothing wrong with you doing that, but if you spend 2 to 3 months just binge watching series and just, you know, spending it all on social media, at the end of those 3 months, can you say that you have actually achieved something? The truth is no. Now, I'm a movie person. I love movies so much. I love watching movies so much. So telling me to watch movies or watching movies is not even a bad thing. Like, it's needed, actually. Sometimes you just need to relax and, you know, calm down. But the truth is, if you want to get a more sound accomplishment at the end of this lockdown, you have to study. Now, when I mean study, I don't necessarily mean academic books, like, you know, actual textbooks and all of that. You should do that though if you're a student, please study. But then, like, there's so many books out there. If you're trying to get better finances, this is the time for you to read financial books. I mean, you should be able to mention at least 5 financial books if you are trying to make money. Study emotional books. If you have problems with, like, you know, how you act, your character, this is the time to read books that will help you get better in that area. So for instance, if it's finances, you know, you should have read The Amazon Millionaire. You should have read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You should have read Rich Dad Poor Dad. You know, there's so many books out there that you can read. If it's emotions, you can read Harnessing Your Emotions. You can read How Can I Become a Better Person, How to Keep My Mouth Shut. There's an actual book like that. So these things help you to build character, help you to build finances. And spiritually, if you know, if it's spirituality you want, there's so many Christian books out there. There's the God's Generals, the Missions, Healing, Evangelists. There's so many books out there for you to study. So why not pick one and study? Most knowledge that we get, most people that are very knowledgeable always claim that they get it from reading books. So I mean, if this is something that very successful people have done, then I think you should do it too. I personally say you should take a book and read it in a week. If it is bulky, read it in 2 weeks. And when you're done, you know, pick another book and read again. So by the end of this lockdown, you are more knowledgeable and, you know, you have greater sense of direction. If there's something you've been doing wrong, I'm sure that in those books that you're reading, they're going to tell you what you should do right. So study during this lockdown. So for my 6th tip, meditate during the lockdown. Meditate during the lockdown. Meditate on spiritual things. Meditate on the Word of God. But also meditate on the books that you read. This is the time to evaluate your life. This is the time to evaluate your friendships. This is the time to ask yourself, have I been a good person? For the amount of years that I have spent, have I been a good person? Have I been a good sister? Have I been a good brother? Have I been a good daughter? Have I been a good son? Have I been a good friend? Have I been a good partner? Have I been a good spouse? This is the time for you to, you know, evaluate your life. This is the time for you to say that, okay, you know, list your friends and be like, who has really added so much value to me? And at the same time, you ask yourself, who have I added so much value to? Because it's a two-way thing. You don't expect people to give you so much without you also giving back. So this is the time to if you have too many friends, this is time to prioritize. Like, who are the people that are actually down for me? My ride or die in quotes. Who are the people that are going to go all the length for me? Who are the people that are going to support me? You need to meditate on these things. Can I be more, of value to my friends? Are there things that they want me to do but I haven't done? In my character, can I be better character-wise? Can I be more social? Because that's an actual thing. Like, that's something I'm trying to work on. Being social. Can I be more friendly, be more open? And for some people, if you are too open, can I know how to, set boundaries? Meditate on these things. In the lockdown, just sit down, just think, like, what have I done? What can I do? What can I be better at? Who can I be better to? Am I a great friend? Do I check up on my friends regularly? My friends complain that, I don't check up on them as much. How can I be better? So, this is the time to really work on different aspects of our lives. So yes, meditate during this lockdown. Number 7, receive visions for your future during the lockdown. Ask God, Father, show me. When you pray and meditate, one of the things you should focus on should be your future. The lockdown is like the world is on standstill right now. So you have enough time to, think about your future. You have enough time to make those decisions. So people already know what they want to be. Some people lack direction and some people have direction. So if you lack direction, pray for direction. And if you have direction, meditate on your future, meditate on what you want to be, and receive visions. You want to have a big makeup studio. I want the place to be very furnished. It shouldn't be just makeup. It should be maybe makeup, hair, and pedicure and manicure. So you start to visualize these things. You start to visualize your future, and as you're visualizing your future, as you're imagining it, you begin to get like thoughts. You begin to get like ideas. It would all begin to make sense. So this is the time to receive visions for your future. My 8th tip: plan what to do as soon as the lockdown is over. You have prayed, you have received visions for your future. The next thing is to plan. Okay, step-by-step procedures on how you want to achieve your goal. That is what a plan is. So plan what to do as soon as the lockdown is over. Some of these things you might not be able to get them during the lockdown. So the only thing you can really do is plan. But some of us, there are so many things that we can actually do during this lockdown. We can learn skills. We can fortify ourselves. For instance, you can start a YouTube channel if that's what you want to do. You can start a blog. You can start an IGTV. Start online classes. If there's something that you know how to do. For instance, if I know how to sew, you can train people. You can do graphic design classes. There's so many things that you can actually do during this lockdown. You can learn a skill. You can learn makeup. You can learn how to make hair. You can learn how to make skin products. You can learn so many things. So in as much as you should plan what to do after the lockdown, you should also plan the things that you not really plan. You should start the things that you want to do during the lockdown. And start something without planning, but you cannot start something if all you do is plan. So in as much as you plan, make sure you put in action by actually doing what you said you were going to do. My 9th tip: clean up your house and your immediate surroundings. If you're living alone or you're living with your family, this is the time to take out the trash. There's this saying that if you want to move on in life, you have to drop the excess baggages. In as much as this is an emotional statement, it can also be physical. We're about to move on. We're about to start new things. We're about to plan new projects. We're about to become better people during the lockdown. So clear your surroundings, clean them, make sure that everywhere is clean. The truth is that if you have a very clean surrounding, you can even think better. You can have more fruitful ideas. So this is the time for you to clean your surroundings, check the things that you have. A lot of us have things that we have not used for, up to a year, 2 years, 5 years, even 10 years. When you clean your room, or your surroundings really, you would know the things that you need, and you know the things that you don't actually need anymore. We usually have a very busy schedule, a busy life, and so we do not know when we pile these things up in our homes. So this is the period to clean your room, clean your house, basically clean your house. This is the time to check those things that you do not need anymore, and if there are things to trash them, and if there are things that you can give out that can be useful to other people, please make sure you give it to them. Give to the less privileged during this period. There are a lot of people that do not even have during this lockdown. So if you find more clothes, if you have excess food stuff, if you basically have things that they're not of use to you anymore, this is the time to give them out, and in turn make more space for you and your life to become a better person. Number 10, pray for your pastors and your leaders. A lot of us have many reasons as to why this pandemic is happening now, but the truth is that our leaders have a huge role to play to move the nation forward. Actions can either affect us negatively or positively, and I'm sure that many of us want their actions to affect us positively. So we have to pray for them. We have to pray for our leaders, and we have to pray for our pastors. Our pastors are the ones that are giving us hope during this period. When you log on to your online church, you hear words of wisdom, you hear motivational words that help you to stay afloat during this lockdown. Pastors are human beings as well, and they also need love and encouragement and support. So one thing we can do is to pray for our pastors and pray for our leaders, so that this pandemic can end as quickly as possible and we can continue our day-to-day life. So these are my 10 tips on how you can make the most out of this lockdown. I hope you learned something in this video, and I hope this video has encouraged you. Please give this video a thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up. Please like this video. Do not just watch my video and not like it. Please, I have told you things that will help you, and so help me too. Subscribe! You guys, please subscribe. If you've not hit the subscribe button, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, help my hustle. I've said things that can help you, so please help my hustle too. Hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure you hit the notifications bell so that when I bring up a new video, you can be notified about it. Thank you guys. My name is Damia Aramo, and see you all in my next video. Bye! Missing someone.